I guess I was trying to show that there are different levels of pain, and I wanted to ask the audience through the movie, and the movie's mostly a comedy, but I wanted to ask the audience what pain is valid? What are we
Yeah.
supposed to feel bad for?
We used to be joined at the hip. Our grandma was from here, so Dave arranged for us to join this geriatric Polish tour with you fine people.
How are you?
Hi, so nice to see you. Thanks so much.
My pleasure, man. I'm really enjoy your work.
Thank you, Ruben. That's so
Um,
nice of you.
yes. For me, there's a beautiful love and hate relationship between Benji and David. And you wrote this, you directed this. For me, this is the way they have to deal with their pain, with their generational pain. This was intentional to create this kind of relationship between these two cousins.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the characters are dealing with different kinds of pain. My character has kind of a general anxiety,
Hmm.
but I take medicine and it goes away, and so I can live a normal life. Kieran's character is kind of unable to live a fully functioning life. But what I thought would be really interesting is take these two characters who had different kinds of pain, different kinds of struggles in their life, and set them against the backdrop of historical trauma. So they're going on a Holocaust tour. So these characters who are experiencing kind of just troubles in their own selves are forced to consider how their troubles compare to historical troubles. And so I guess I was trying to show that there are different levels of pain. And I wanted to ask the audience through the movie, and the movie's mostly a comedy, but I wanted to ask the audience, you know, what pain is valid? What are we
Yeah.
supposed to feel bad for? Only historical trauma, or do you also kind of feel a little bad for the guy who has obsessive compulsive disorder? So that was the theme of the movie.
But for me, there's a couple scenes that are really important, at least for me as a spectator. First one is when they're trying to take the picture in the monument, how your character react and how other characters react. It's like you were more serious about it, like you give it more importance. Then the other scene, it's when you two try to put a stone in front of where your grandma used to live in front of, and the other people who live there, they didn't want it to deal with that. They don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite is the slap at the end
Oh,
because it
yeah.
was like out of nothing. But for me, that was a closure of a beautiful relationship as a family member. So I would love if you describe me how was because also there's a passive aggressive scene when the guy is trying to explain the meaning of putting the rock on top of the cemetery on the lapid. So I would love to explain if how do you create this because for me, those scenes explain perfectly each character behavior and the way they're thinking.
Oh, that's so nice of you to say. Thank you so much. Yeah, I guess I was, in some ways because I'm playing one of the characters and like so like a lot of it is very like kind of my personal feelings, but also as a writer, I'm trying to kind of show just the different ways of trying to connect with history. And so sometimes that comes out in ridiculous ways, like, hey, let's
Mhm.
all jump on this monument. And other times it comes out in very serious ways, like a scene at a cemetery where Kieran's character is so angry that this tour guide is kind of, just having an academic
Yeah.
reaction to the history. And sometimes it comes out in these very awkward personal attempts at connecting to history, like the characters placing a rock down on their grandmother's stoop, and then just the awkward irony of being told, actually, that's not really safe. You should probably take that rock away. And so what
Yeah.
I was just trying to show is all the different ways we try to connect to history and how it doesn't always produce what we expect. You know what I mean? Because when I tried to connect to my family's history, it wasn't always in a way that gave me that satisfaction of connection. It was always I always was able to connect to my history through ways that were unexpected.
Is your relationship with emotional pain changed after you wrote this and directed this?
Wow, that's a really nice question. Yeah, I guess it has. And it has it maybe if I had to think about it, I would say that when I start to think about like what the characters are doing in the movie and how they're trying to connect to their family's historical trauma, it makes me feel that much more grateful that I'm alive now and that my life is blessed. And it's not something I think about a lot, but when I think about the characters in the movie and the way their lives are going to be okay, even though their families' lives were not. It makes me appreciate the world a little more.
And we are happy to have you showing your talent.
Thank you. That's so nice of you to say.
Thank you, man. Have a great day.
Thanks, Ruben. Gracias. Nice to meet
Bye-bye.
you.
De nada. Bye-bye.